best way to predict the future is to create it. Peter Drucker. With so much unemployment rising in the state, a group of young professionals and enthusiasts took a stand and launched the YouthNet on the 1st of February 2006, not knowing the impact that they would hold in the coming years for the younger generation. YouthNet is a non-profit organization with a mission to help acquire knowledge, develop skills, and form attitude for the youth to enable them to become more self-directive, positive, productive, responsible, and contributing members of the society through active participation and involvement. With the main objective to create a platform where young people can address any issues that affects them, YouthNet has come a long way. Commemorating 16 years in 2022 of their service for the Naga people, in particularly the youth, we got to catch up with founder Hekani Jakalu and also got to know the insights of YouthNet along with director Nune Chase.
Hi, my name is Hekani Jakalu and I'm the founder and chair of the governing council of YouthNet. Well, 16 years to highlight in few seconds is like really next to impossible, and for someone who likes to talk so much about their own stories, like, it's really impossible. But when we started this, I was trained and I'm a lawyer by profession, which I quit in 2006, and the objective was to start an organization that focuses on helping young people, to empowering young people, and we do a lot of various programs that focuses on young people, like capacity building, skill development, entrepreneurship, livelihood, career development, so on and so forth. We started with zero budget and started with volunteers, friends who just sort of helped us set up the whole process. And 16 years, we are about 111 staff now, working in different parts of the state. And so I always say it's just not one person now, but it's 111 of us who are trying to work on that vision of building our state through empowering young people. No, my priorities have not changed. It's the same. When I started, I was very ambitious to empower young people, whatever that may mean. And I take each day as it comes. People like to plan, like 5 years ahead, 10 years ahead, But for me, I always say I don't plan because the journey and the process of how to take this organization forward has to be driven by young people. So every time the aspirations of young people change, the ambitions of young people change, the need of young people change. So according to what young people want, we tried this organization. So I will say really not changed. Started with an ambition to empower young people, and that ambition still continues. So factor many things, there are many things. On a personal front, I think my family, definitely my family, because if anyone wants to do anything, you need a good support system. It could be running an organization or even business, My family, my parents, my siblings, and most importantly, my husband. And I keep on saying this, if I were here when I started today, I'm here because of my husband. And especially for women who are married, if you have a supportive husband, then you can just reach wherever you want to reach. Even if you're so talented, if you don't have a supportive husband or a supportive partner, then it really becomes difficult.
With so much of accomplishments, you must have had a lot of challenges. Can you just highlight like some of the toughest challenges that you have faced over the 16 years?
When I started, many people said, 2006 when we started this, the situation was so much different from what it is today. Today everything is in a platter for young people, or even the environment, it's so much more positive. People, they're not afraid to do things, or even failing. But during those days when we started, and I keep saying this, the only cafe that existed in Nagaland, in Kohima, was Dream Cafe, which Teja Meru had started. And in a situation like that, there was so much negativity, so much hopelessness, in and around everywhere. In fact, by the time it's 4 or 5 o'clock, once it's getting dark, places like Kohima, it's already like, the whole town is shut. And that was the environment. So much negativity, so much, no hope amongst young people also. And when I started this, people would tell me that, yes, you have had this, exposure from abroad, but it's different. Nagaland is different, We really like what you're doing. We encourage what you're doing, but we don't want you to get disappointed. This is Nagaland, you'll not see the change that you want to see. So that, I think that was also one of the main factors that was really putting me back. Always a but, that people would tell me. But I think that was also one of the factors what sort of made me very determined that even if it's in a small way, I want to make a little positive impact in the lives of people. That is one thing. Anywhere, organization or a company or any type of businesses that you take up, finance is one of the biggest challenge. But I never looked at it as a challenge. It was each day as it comes. I used to have a lot of time where I struggled with giving salaries also. So I had to look for people giving out loans at a very low interest rate. And when I get loan for like 2% or 3% per month, I'm so excited, so my siblings would laugh at me, But eventually our work helped us, because at the end of everything is not about whether someone likes my face or wants to help me or is sympathetic towards me or the organization. The work will speak for us. So I think eventually we have picked up, and I'm happy that the way it is going.
What inspired you to develop the idea of YouthNet when you started in 2006?
Yeah. As a young professional based out of Delhi, I would see many young girls and boys, not only from Nagaland but from the northeast, migrating to cities looking for jobs. And during those days, of course, we have been hearing a lot of discrimination, racial discrimination, and me being someone from the background working on women's rights at that point of time, I was also very concerned about the young people, the future of the young people, especially future of young girls moving to cities. What drives them? What is the future? And I did a study, a sort of a research with support from people everywhere, and that research sort of opened my eyes that it was important to do an intervention and to address unemployment issues in Nagaland. And that, there's a lot of story in between, but in short, those issues made me really want to come back home and see if I can contribute in whatever way to at least mentor, guide young people.
So I joined YouthNet because it is an organization run by young people for the young. It's a network of young professionals working for young people to empower people to make sure that the Naga youths are empowered to be responsible, contributing members of the community and not be liabilities. So the mission itself inspired me to join YouthNet 7.5 years ago.
Has your priorities changed all this after 7 years as you've come here?
Oh yes, YouthNet always come first. A lot of people tell me that I am married to YouthNet, so definitely yes. I think YouthNet is one of those organizations where, like I mentioned, YouthNet is a network of young people. So we have like more than 100 people from different walks of life, different education qualification, different work experiences, an amazing team that I learn from them every day. So we hire a new person joins YouthNet family, then I also learn to get to learn a lot from them. So that's unique. Yeah, and then you have to keep yourself abreast from others, always a step ahead of others or on par with what the younger generation is going through. So yeah, that's unique about
Would you
YouthNet.
call yourself as an entrepreneur then?
I'm a social entrepreneur, yes.
So what are the qualities that make a good entrepreneur?
Someone who is willing to take risks, think out of the box, because we do not do mundane stuff. We always try to be innovative and reinvent ourselves. YouthNet, it started with 5 people. When I joined, we were 16 of us. Now we are more than 100, and then the team keeps increasing because we are not doing the same thing that we were doing now. We are more focused. We focus on 3 thematic areas. One is education, entrepreneurship, and employment, because they all revolve around livelihood, promotion of livelihood. So yes, we have grown over the years.
What would you say on the employment issue in Nagaland?
Well, I believe for the past almost 10 years now, YouthNet have been working towards addressing the unemployment rate in the state. We all know YouthNet has been working towards addressing unemployment issues for so long because Nagaland has the highest unemployment rate in the country. We rank 15 or 16 in literacy rate. Unfortunately, our schools, colleges, universities, they are producing a lot of graduates. Unfortunately, everyone or majority of them are not employable. So this is really disheartening to know. And then the kind of people who come to register at YouthNet Job Center, that's our consultancy, we understand their challenges as well. They may have certificates, they may have graduated, but they do not fit into the workforce requirement that the state also requires. So we want to make sure that all the schools, colleges, institutions, the community itself, they give proper career guidance and build employability skills of our young generation. There are 7 departments in YouthNet. We currently have 9 programs. So majority of them, yes, they all revolve around education. That's vocational education, career guidance. We recently introduced STEM for Girls program in partnership with IBM, Quest Alliance, and the Department of School Education. And so that's what we are focusing on at the moment. The next phase, we go to Kifri. And since the new academic session has started, we are going to roll out Launchpad as well. It's a career guidance and employability skills development program that is in partnership with the Department of Youth Resources and Sports and Department of School Education. And this program is specifically designed for class 12 students in all government higher secondary schools across all the districts in Nagaland. So occupied with that.
Recent note, American tech giant IBM recently collaborated with the Nagaland State Department of School Education to introduce IBM STEM, standing for Science, Technology, Engineering and Mathematics, for girls in more than 250 secondary and higher secondary schools across the 16 districts in Nagaland. IBM is set to be helping around 12,000 girls studying between 8th to 10th grade with access to digital fluency, coding skills training, 21st century skills, including life and career. IBM India Managing Director Sandeep Patel shared that with expansion of STEM for girls in Nagaland, it is to increase the footprint to 12 states across India. He said this was a part of IBM's groundbreaking commitment to provide 30 million people with ages worldwide with new skills needed for the jobs of tomorrow by 2030.
So IBM STEM for Girls has been there for quite some time now. The project was initiated from US, but then I think now IBM India STEM for Girls is something which the company is very committed and impacting more than 2 lakhs girls across India. So as we all know, I think STEM stands for science, technology, engineering and mathematics, and it is more to bring this mindset to spark this curiosity among students, among kids. Why STEM for girls? I think because of the kind of environment that we have, where we it's a hard fact, but we in mainland India or even in Naga, I think we don't promote science, technology, mathematics, and engineering fields more to girls. Of course, we are not saying that the girls are bad at it and the boys are good at it. I think the girls are equally better or maybe much better than girls. But I think when we look at the trend, it is you may be very good at during the school days and then you learn everything as per the school curriculum. But when it goes to the higher level of education, that's when I think the dropout happens. And then I think the main idea here is that what we think is that to give that equal opportunity. Why waste that 50% of the talent pool which you already have in this area, right? And then bring that also to the talent pool and make these young kids and the young generation future ready for the future jobs. So I think for me, this project essentially talks about like bringing that mindset or that encouraging you to be curious. And I think most importantly, it talks about how to be a problem solver rather than, like thinking in a very generic way. I think it is the base, and for me, STEM is it's a starting point. It's not a destination. The main idea about IBM is encouraging the girls to actually actively participate in this kind of stream, so that they can also contribute and then not left behind, rather than or basically breaking the stereotype. So I just came in because I'm very interested in volunteering, and also when I heard the news in Nagaland Post, I reached out to my office and then I said that, hey, I'm also from Nagaland, I belong here, and then as I'm at home, I also want to just get involved and then see whatever I can do in my own possible small way. That's when they connected me to Quest Alliance in YouthNet, and I had the opportunity to come and meet them, be part of the hackathon program which they just recently had on 31st March, where I visited the school that I studied in. So.
Entrepreneurship has seen positive growth in Nagaland, with many aspiring individuals starting their own initiatives. To support this growth, YouthNet has launched a Center for Made in Nagaland with an aim to provide exposure and centralized platform for local entrepreneurs to promote their products and services within and outside of Nagaland. The Made in Nagaland Center is located in Kohima, Nil Civil Secretariat. The 3-storied establishment hosts 120 entrepreneurs whose locally produced goods and services are displayed in the Made in Nagaland Center. Since its launch, YouthNet has continued to be one of the premier youth organizations in the Northeast India that empowers young people to address education, unemployment, internship, and livelihood issues.